steel girders enhancements. In our 2025 version, we have added steel beam enhancements, especially for the steel tops. We have completed the modeling of steel tops, adding cross frames, interior and exterior for the girders, in which we have added a new library. These, of course, are accounted in the input echo report and in quantities as well, and taking advantage of the wizard tool to lay out the cross frames for the steel tops. On the diaphragms as well, we have added the option to create openings, and the user can modify them and even specify the corner radius for each hole in that diaphragms. To demonstrate that, see that we have steel tops already created, modeled with OpenBridge. And on that, we're going to see the library that we have included now in the 2025 release. We'll go to the Utilities tab and see the cross frame. There is a special library now for the steel tops. We have added with all the options, the bend plates that we mentioned before with the openings option available. So it's not just a plate, but also the option to have define the dimensions of the opening as well as the radius, the corner radius of that opening. And this can be, of course, used when we lay out cross frames along the steel top. So this is part of the library that we deliver, and they are all included in specific XML file that you can customize. So you can add, copy, edit that type of core frames that we have delivered. And this is where they are located. So the layout of that cross frames on tab, and we say place cross frames. Select the beam group. And then specify if these cross frames that we want to place are external or internal to the top itself. Let's place on external first. We're going to get help from the wizard and specify the number of locations, define spacing, what girders I want to place it, and all of them, and select from the library the type of girders I want to place. Just placing two as an example, right? In just one particular girder. And of course, we can just place it in all the bays, or we can copy the layout and edit or modify it. And then on the internal one, I'm going to use the wizard again, but I'm going to place it in more locations. And it's going to be a bend plate. Then I'm going to place it in maybe all the bays, right? We can validate the placement of the external and internals if there is conflicts or overlaps on that. So no errors after validation, save it, and then it will initiate the placement of these cross frames, external or internal to the tops itself. So as you can see, I place all my bend plates in all the bays, but I just chose to place cross frames just on that particular girder. So this is our cross frame implementation. Well, we have added the option to do stiffeners for the steel tops. There is a special library for that included in the software. When we deliver that, just set up the positions on how you're going to place these stiffeners, and also they are detailed in our quantities reports. We have also added the option to do stiffeners for our steel tops. They are defined in the libraries that we are also provided. You just use the stiffener command and it will place it along the steel top. It's part of our reports, quantity reports, echo reports. They are all represented there. Also shear studs as well. for the steel tops, and then fill splices too. Fill splices are also, there is a special library in which we add fill splices just for the steel tops. You just need to adjust the dimensions of the fill splice depending on the dimensions of your steel box or steel top. They are not going to adjust automatically. You have to define in the library the specific dimensions, the bolt spacing that you want to place for that particular project. It shows up in the 3D model, of course, as well on the decorators too, and part of the echo reports, and also on the quantities too. Then for plus production, we have added the steel beam elevation drawings. When you have a high girder with different dimensions, to create these elevation drawings could be kind of tedious, as sometimes they are doing by hand, and then you need to annotate all the different plates dimensions that you're using. So this one, it will generate automatically on any steel girder. You just select the option to generate an elevation drawing. What it's going to do, just going to expand your girder and just show you an elevation diagram with the dimensions, with the proper dimensions that you are using. So it will just generate a new model. You just need to select what beam you want to generate that. Some dimensioning, hit OK, and it will just create, as I said, a new model, a 2D model, which you can start placing your new annotations. These annotations will not be dynamic. You just need to regenerate the drawing if you change the plate sizes, for example. So, but they are ready to be labeled and expanded as you. Also, we have added the option of beam end cuts for steel eye girders. You can clip the top or the bottom flange. The cuts could be defined on the advanced beam definition dialog box. These are not available yet for top girders. We're planning to implement that, but they are applicable for roll beams and build-up beams.